Hello, my name is Rachel and I love crafting. So this company called Creighton reached out to me and asked me if I would be willing to make a few videos for them in exchange for some products off their website. And Creighton is a online business that sells very crafty stationery type items, and primarily like a large portion of what they sell are wax seals. And you may have seen one of my 2 previous videos for them. This is my 3rd video for them. And I did purchase from them, well, I didn't purchase. I did receive from them. They let me choose some things off their website, and I did receive from them a set of stamps. It's a Halloween set, so it came with 6, heads there. They're removable from the little handle. And then I also purchased separately a thing of these wax sticks, which are like candles, and then you melt the wax down and then you put your stamp on top of it. Now, they also have wax beads, and I feel like the wax beads would have been a lot easier to work with. I thought when I was buying it, when I was choosing my items, I thought that these would be easier because they're just like candles, but these are actually a real pain. I think the beads would be a lot easier. So what I did do, I didn't get beads, but I did get this little wax melter set. So that what I can actually do is cut the wax into chunks and put it in the spoon, and then I'll get a more even melt that way. And I think I'll be able to get better seals with that. But what today's craft is actually going to be, and I'm really excited about trying this. I have no idea if this is going to work. But this was just an idea I had, because you guys know that my last video I decided to try and make jewelry from all of this by encasing the wax seals in resin. And I had a couple of reasonable successes with that. But in continuing this idea of how to use wax seals in jewelry making, I thought, what if I made the wax seal and then made a silicone rubber mold of the seal, and then I could just make a straight up resin version of the wax seal that could be used directly as jewelry without having to encase it. So that's actually our experiment for today. We are going to first do a couple of wax seals on the silicone mat so that they can be peeled off once they are cool. And then we are going to mix together some of my silicone rubber mold making compound. And we will see if we can turn wax seals into resin molds so I can make resin wax seals. So let's get turned around to Craft Vision and see what happens. Oh, and Creighton did give me a discount code to give to all of you guys. All this information will be down in the description box, but it's Delia5, and it would save you $5 off of a $40 purchase. And I think a $50 purchase also gets you free shipping. They have really good prices on these wax seal stamps. I feel like you can probably get the wax cheaper other places, but the stamps I felt like they had really good prices on, because like this entire set of 6, because it comes with all the different Halloween heads, was less than $20, and I just thought that was a really good deal. So, and they do have a lot of other things on their site as well. If you're into paper crafting, they have a lot of that type of stuff on their site as well. But let's get this turned around to Craft Vision and give this a try. So first, let me apologize for how messy my silicone mat has become. This glitter is now a part of it. It will not move. I really need to get a new silicone mat. And then we have this thing for melting of the wax, but what I didn't realize is it doesn't have any sort of base. So I'm not sure how safe it is to just... I feel like I should have something underneath that candle. Let me go grab a plate. I'll be right back. Okay, so I did grab this cute little Raven's plate. It does have a little chip in it though. But I just feel better having the candle on a, less flammable surface. So what we're gonna have to do is we're gonna have to take some of this and cut some chunks off. Had to go find my cutting mat. Okay, let's just... Got this random blade. Hopefully it's sharp enough. That one's not very sharp. Let's try this one. Maybe if I do shavings instead. Guess we'll see if this is enough wax. So let me light our candle. Put the wax in the spoon. That might be more than enough wax. Let's start with that much wax. And we will let that melt. I'll bring you guys back in just a few minutes. Okay guys, it seems to have completely melted. And I did stir it with this toothpick. I feel like I should let that cool down just a little bit. I feel like it was boiling. So we're going to just, here's a relatively clean spot on my mat, which I'm just going to pour the wax onto. It gives us a nice round pour, which is, I think, good. And so the wax might have been just a little bit too liquidy, the way that stamp just fell into it. So I'm going to give it just a few seconds to cool, and we will see how it came out. So we'll be back in a minute. Okay, so this, I think, actually came out really well, and using the spoon as opposed to just dripping the candles works so much better because you get a nice round bit of wax. And even though I still have a little extra, that just, I think, adds to the charm of it. So I can peel it up off, but you can see how good this one came out. And I think this one will make a nice mold, and I think having the little extra around the edge actually just gives it that authentic wax seal look. So I'm going to make the mold complete with that little extra wax around the edge. We're going to do one more of these. You can see it's still a little bit in there, but we're just going to throw some pink on top of it. Purple and the blue. Relight my candle. And I'll bring you guys back once that's melted. So again, the image came out really good, but I didn't get enough over here, so I don't think this would make as good of a mold, so we're going to try this one more time. Alright, so attempt number 2. Ooh, I think this one will be good because it looks like I've got a little ridge all the way around it, which I think is even better than the bat. Okay, that one came out really nice as well, and I really like the border around the edge of that one. I think that would be nice. Now the only thing about these is they are super thin, so I'm not 100% sure about that with the molds, but we'll find out. So next we're going to mix up some mold compound and try to make molds out of these two. Okay guys, so I've prepared everything. I have some of our mold making compound. Hopefully I've stirred this for long enough. A lot of these mold making compounds, the silicone mold making compounds, only give you like 5 or 10 minutes to work with it. I did get one that has a 20-minute work time, so it's okay for me to make it a little bit in advance here. And then I did my mold, which is a cookie cutter with tape, sticky side up, and then I hot glued all the way around the edges. If you want like the full mold making tutorial, the video where I learned to make molds, I will try to remember to put that up in the cards, but it is somewhere in my Delia5 offerings list. And then we're gonna sit these down, stick it on the tape, try not to mess up my images, make sure there's some space between them and space between the edge. So you can see they're down in there like that. I don't want to press too hard on the wax seal itself because I'm afraid I will mess up our images. And then we're just going to pour the compound over top of it. Hopefully I made enough. But these are really thin, so I shouldn't need too much. I feel like I just barely made enough. But they are completely covered. And once again, this will be a several day craft. We're going to have to wait 24 hours to see how our molds came out, and then we're going to actually try casting resin in our molds to see if it really did work. So stay tuned for that. For you, it'll be no time at all. For me, it's going to be 24 hours. Talk to you all soon. Okay, it's the next day, and our silicone feels nice and firm, so we're going to unmold our mold. And that one came out, but you can see the indent seems to be pretty okay there. Let me pull the second one out. I will say that they seem still like wet in there, and I'm wondering if the wax interfered with it properly curing. But I do have to let this sit for at least an hour anyway you can see the indents are there, to fully cure before I could put resin in it. So we're just gonna let this sit for a little while longer and see if that stickiness goes away, because like I said, I can feel on the actual wax bits, I can feel that it's still quite liquidy, and I'm not sure like if that will completely dry or not. But we will set that aside, and hopefully it will. If it does completely dry, it'll still have the imprint in it. So we'll come back in an hour and see how that is. I'm back, and it's actually been about 20 hours since I was last here. My mold is still just a little bit sticky, and I don't think it's going to completely dry. I think there's just something in the wax that prevents the silicone from fully curing, because everywhere else it's cured fine, just where the wax was touching it, it's not. But I'm still going to try to use it anyway. What I'm going to do is I'm going to paint it with some powders, and then I'm going to make some silicone and pour the silicone in. No, not silicone. And then I'm going to make some resin, and we're still going to try these molds just to see if they work. But I have a feeling that they may not, because of the, it's just, like I said, it's still just a little bit sticky. But we'll find out. Okay, so I'm going to go off camera and make myself some resin. I'll be right back. I do have a small batch of black resin here. We're just going to fill these in. Let those sit for 24 hours, and then we will come back and see if this worked. My hopes are not high because the mold was still sticky, but we'll see what happens. Okay guys, it's been probably about 20 hours, and we are going to unmold these and see how these actually turned out. Like I said, I wasn't real hopeful because the mold never actually stopped being sticky, but we'll see what happened. So let's give these a try. Interesting. And the mold is still sticky, but this is not. So this came out okay. It's not sticky at all, and it's not a bad likeness. That one came out pretty good too, actually. And then these are actually, resin, which I can then use these into different jewelry components. So I think this was actually pretty successful, even though my mold is still sticky, which is so weird. But the mold never completely cured, but it still worked. So again, this is one of those things I'm definitely going to have to experiment with and take a little bit of time trying to perfect. If you wait until the very end of this video, after I sign off, I'll be including some footage of me redoing my last experiment where I was capturing the wax molds inside of clear resin. I did a bunch more of those, and I'll have those unmoldings at the very end. But while we're here, let's just unmold these few other things I made with the extra resin, because I can never make just exactly the right amount of resin. So let's start with this big kitty. My little pastel kitty came out really cute. Just need to trim it up a little bit along the edges. But the colors came out really nice. And we have these bats. So we have these bat charms, which I put some glitter in. And those are cute. Dragon kitty. Ooh, Dragon Kitty came out nice. These are nice colors. Then just some pink ankh earrings, which again I've overfilled a little. I'll have to trim up a little bit there. These are just some clear, but with bat sequins. And then we have death head moths. Little matching set. Okay, so there's our bonus unmolding. Unmolding is just so satisfying. But back to these. This was the original purpose with the wax seal set that I did receive from Caspire. And like I said, I think they actually did come out pretty decently considering the trials and tribulations I had with like my mold still being sticky, never fully curing. I'm wondering if maybe after I make the wax seal, maybe there's something I can lightly coat it with that'll prevent it from doing that to the silicone. So again, that's something I'm going to have to experiment with, but I am happy with the way these turned out, and I think these would make fun little jewelry components. But let me know what you think of this whole experiment down in the comments below. And like I said, stay tuned if you want to see some more unmoldings. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you did enjoy the video, please give it a thumbs up. If you didn't enjoy the video, of course you can give it a thumbs down, and please tell me all about it in the comments below. And please subscribe to the channel. And I hope everyone is just staying happy, healthy, and safe in this incredibly crazy world we're living in. And I will talk to you all soon. Bye-bye. So off camera, I actually did some more of that, trying to capture the wax seals inside of clear resin. And using the spoon, I was able to get much better wax distribution, and I think these came out pretty good, except for the fact where I actually had stacked them on top of each other a little bit too soon. They weren't done curing yet, so you'll see little scuff marks on the top of each one because I messed up. That was my fault. But other than that, these came out really good. Let me show you. See, this is what I was hoping for when I first tried that last week. And if I hadn't put that little scuff mark right there in the center, that'd have been perfect. Same with this one. I might still be able to clean up those scuff marks. The scuff mark's pretty bad. By adding like a thin layer of clear resin, that might get rid of the scuff marks. But yeah, I definitely think that this technique was much better with the wax seals, and this is definitely something that I'm going to use in the future to make some jewelry components. This one's a little rough. because I really scuffed this one up. Plus I over poured it a little. But I'm hoping I'll be able to clean that up because the wax seal itself came out really nice. Now these, I actually tried making a wax seal, then putting them upside down, then encasing them in resin, and I messed this one up because I didn't notice this huge bubble until it was too late. So it's got a huge bubble there, but from the front, that's not bad either. And this is when I make a wax seal separately on my mat, peel the wax seal off, and then put it in the resin rather than sealing it straight on. Oh, that one came out even better. Because I didn't mess it up with the big bubble in the back. Then we have another set of coffins. Again, I over poured just a little, but once I get that cleaned up, the stamp came out great. Let's see if I can get that focused. I mean, look how good that came out. So once I get this coffin cleaned up, that's going to be really cute. This one I didn't over pour as badly. Oops, there's the front. See, the stamp came out really nice. If I can get it to focus. There we go. Stamp came out really nice, and these are going to be really cute earrings. And then just a couple of the planchettes. And I actually got one of the more intricate stamps to come out really well. Look at that. You can actually see the witch on her broomstick. How awesome is that? And the final one, I didn't quite get the full stamp. I missed out a little bit of the bottom, but you can still really see the bats and the top of the castle or the haunted house there. So yeah, these came out great.